Welcome to the Look Good, Move Well podcast.
Let me introduce the guest. Justin Allen is, let's see, we'll go over how we met. We'll go over origin story at some point, but excited to have you on to talk about sort of your life as a first responder, as a sheriff, working in law enforcement, and how that has, what you've navigated in the workplace with your health and fitness journey, because there's no shortage of questions that we've been asked over the years of like, hey, like, what do you do for shift workers? How do you coach first responders that have these crazy, schedules and high stress, sleep is crappy. Like now you're a dad, you got a young kid, so sleep is extra crappy.
Yeah.
Like how does that all end up impacting, you going through the last 4 or 5 month transformation where you've gotten into incredible shape? You've been an athlete, you've done a lot of stuff over your life, but that's what I want to unpack today. So,
cool.
You don't have to like dive into the full story yet. Why don't we start with something simple? How did we meet?
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
We met because my wife worked at a community center and they were having an event.
Yeah.
And as we're walking up to the event, I see this guy standing in the parking lot, and obviously the epic hair at the time, which is RIP.
Yeah.
But see that, and I was like, is that Marcus? And I think if I remember correctly, I yelled out like, Marcus!
Yeah, totally.
And I think we had met in passing once before that for like 5 minutes, maybe. I think I came by here one time asking if you had a CrossFit gym, but you had gotten out of that at some point.
Got it.
And so I was like, oh, that's him. And then we go inside, and as the night goes on, I'm like, babe, I got to go say hi. Like I've seen this guy work out for years. I got to go say what's up. And that's essentially how it came down. Then you invited me here, and now we're lovers and soulmates.
All of that is true.
You should know you can't filter me on this.
No, you don't need to be filtered. Yeah, no, I was getting the kids out of the car. We were just kind of like rallying them to go to this the concert that was happening.
Who was it again?
Wonder Bread 5, baby.
That's right. I blank on their name all the time. So good.
Yeah. Anybody listening, we got a local cover band that absolutely crushes
with the best outfits.
The best outfits, the best, like, it's just, that's how live music should be.
100%.
And I think we've seen them. I want to say we're coming up on like 7 or 8 times we've been to their shows. Wow. So we really we're groupies as a family.
Yeah, for sure. As you should be.
But yeah. I was getting the kids out of the car. Hey, Marcus! And I was like, well, who's that?
Total fangirl moment.
Yeah,
I had to take advantage of it.
I love it. I love it. It's funny because like I have recently encountered a couple of like people, that celebrities that I've been a fan of out in the wild. And I froze up. I didn't say anything.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was at Blue Barn the other day.
Yeah.
And I was just ordering the kids' French fries, and I look over, and Barry Bonds is having a salad at the table.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like eating tater tots, and just nobody. He's like, I think he's got a buddy with him, but they're not talking. He's just in his own little.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around, and it's packed, and I'm like, does anybody even know that the legend is like in-house right now?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? I was like waiting for the fries. Like, should I go say something? Like, I want to go say something. What would I say? Like, I don't know. And I just
froze up.
Totally froze up. Left.
Well, it's funny too, because when I was a kid, I was huge into WWE, and my parents one time took me to a meet and greet for John Cena.
Okay.
The GOAT. Love that dude. And super excited to be there. And by the time I actually finally get up to meet him, cold feet. Couldn't say anything.
Aw.
I just like took this awkward photo with him, and I was like, if I could go back in time, I would have fangirled so hard. So I took that opportunity to learn. Always fangirl when you have the chance.
I guess so. Well, you definitely are a good example of how to fangirl.
Try my best.
Anyway, no, it was a polite yell in the parking lot. And then that led to us meeting, and we got to know each other. And then you came by the gym. And when did the first workout happen?
It was like a Saturday community kind of workout where it was just, hey, it was more,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you came to we did like a conditioning
it was like,
session.
yes, it was like push-ups and pull-ups, like
That's
basically
right.
a round of Cindy, and then, rowing, running, box jumps, kettlebell carries. So
yeah, it was a good day. Yeah, we had a good crew that day. I remember it.
But then I remembered, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to make it every Saturday. And so then I just started basically annoying you to the point where you were Like, all right, just come on a weekday when you're off.
There you go.
And that worked out well. That
Yes.
worked in my favor.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's rewind a little bit further. So, okay, take me back to when you first got into like fitness training. When did that happen? Like, when did you start lifting weights? And
Yeah, so growing up as a kid, like fitness has never been huge in my family, but I always loved sports.
Yeah.
And I was a pretty big kid. And then by the time I get to high school, I wanted to play football.
Okay.
And that is kind of what kickstarted my lifting weights and working out and stuff
Give
like
me
that.
your stats. How tall are you?
6'2".
Yep, I can confirm.
I want to say
That's a
6'3",
legit-
but my
it's a-
wife will say it's
a legit
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
And you're like right around what, 90, 195, 200 now?
198 as of this morning.
198. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, okay, go back to what you're saying.
Yeah. So football is what kickstarted it, but then what really got me into it was my senior year. One of our coaches, who happened to also be one of my buddy's older brother, was a CrossFit coach.
Okay.
And so our football team all did CrossFit training for like our conditioning and stuff, but then a group of us also continued to do CrossFit like in the morning. So, senior year of high school, I'm going to 5 a.m. CrossFit classes before school starts, and then football practice afterwards and so on. But that's kind of what kickstarted my really getting into fitness kind of lifestyle, was
Nice.
that coach. Yeah.
Okay, after high school, did you go to, where'd you go to college? Did you go to college?
Santa Rosa Junior College.
Santa Rosa Junior College.
Wanted to play football there, tore a labrum in my shoulder, so didn't work out.
Bummer.
And then just, I got my level 1 for CrossFit, level 2, and coached that for, I want to say like 8 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So that's,
And then that was like, you're full into that. Were you doing another job at the time, or were you just coaching?
yeah. So I started out doing CrossFit coaching, work at a coffee shop. Shout out Dutch Bros.
By the way, y'all don't know this, but I got started as a CrossFit coach and working at a coffee shop right out of med school. That's how much I went. That's where my status went.
Hey.
Right there.
We all start somewhere.
Dude.
And it was
And
good.
we turned out pretty
it
good.
fueled every workout.
Oh
it was
my God.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m.
I
opening
also
shift
have-
at Pete's in Corte Madera.
Yep.
Just slinging sugar-free, non-vanilla, non-fat lattes like is my job, because it was. And then going and coaching CrossFit class and then working out.
Yeah. And I mean, very similar as I would be coaching CrossFit in the afternoon, coffee shop in the morning, or vice versa, because we had a late hour coffee shop. But yeah, I did that, and then was trying to make ends meet, and then kind of transitioned away from a coffee shop, continued to coach. Went from one gym in Rohnert Park to another gym in Santa Rosa, which is where I spent most of my time. But then also started working at a car dealership as a car salesman. And I did that for 5 or 6 years.
Right on.
Yeah.
What company?
Honda
Oh,
up in Santa Rosa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sold a couple Honda Accords, I'll bet, in your day.
A few.
Few.
I got the gift of gab.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
But yeah, did that for 5 years, and then 2019 got hired on as a sheriff or deputy.
Yeah,
So-
talk about what made you decide that was going to be your next path.
Just kind of really trying to figure out what I wanted to do long term. And the car salesman job was cool, made money, but it just wasn't really fulfilling. So then I had a couple buddies that were firefighters, a couple people that were cops, and hung out with them and went on ride-alongs. And there was the whole being a firefighter aspect, but I didn't like the medical side of things.
Yeah.
And so then I did a ride-along with a buddy that worked for the department I'm with now, and it was a great experience. And then the rest is history.
So then you went into that training is like you go through like an academy of some sort, and
Yeah, it's like a 20 week long academy up in Santa Rosa. They teach you all about, law enforcement as a whole, laws of arrest, search and seizure, penal codes, criminal statutes, a whole bunch of different things. And then you have physical fitness during that. You have arrest and control, firearms, defensive tactics. And that's Monday through Friday. It's a full-time job.
yeah,
Yeah.
our good friend Dan just went through that.
Yeah.
I guess it's been over a year, but
Yeah.
another one of my training partners for years. Following in your footsteps.
Sure. We'll call it that. He's older than me, but we'll call it that.
Hey man, you were on the force before him, so there you go.
So,
Okay. So that was in 2019, you said?
2019 is when I started. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 years into this career.
Actually 6 years like next week.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Thanks.
6 years in, now you're married.
Yep.
Got a kid. When
Yep.
did you guys get married?
2023.
Okay.
Yep. So 2.5 years.
And how old is Hayden for those people?
He's going to be 1 year in like 2 weeks.
Okay. So 1 year as a dad.
Yeah.
Talk about the demands of your actual job. Like what's your schedule that you have right now? I mean, I know it fluctuates, but just big picture.
Yeah. On paper, it's 3 days a week, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Except 1 week out of the month, or once every 4 weeks, you have to do an extra day. So for me, it's one Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Yep.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. every week.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you had like the first night shifts and you were like, you went from like coaching CrossFit, car dealership?
Oh, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Like,
and honestly, it's one of those things that you know you're going to do, but you don't really know it until you do it for the first time. And at the time I was working in the jails and they put you through a training program. And so there's someone there with you the whole time. So it makes it a little bit of an easier adjustment because you're talking, asking questions, learning the job. So that makes it a little bit easier, but it's definitely, if you're not used to it, once that 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. window hits until 6 a.m., it's hard.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that rains, ghosts, bangs, caffeine pills, wherever you need to do to stay awake. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's taxing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then you spend some time in the jail, and then now you're not in the jail anymore. You're in a patrol vehicle, right?
I started in the jail, went to the academy. And then after the academy, I got the opportunity to go out to the streets, and I've been there ever since.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that different than the I don't know. Is it a more controlled environment when you're in the jail? What's
a little bit like working in the jail, like for example, criminals, they don't have as easy access to weapons. They aren't always under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So it's way more controlled versus being out on patrol. It's very different. You never know what you're going to be responding to. You never know what day's going to look like.
Yeah.
You just know what time you start and hopefully what time you're going home.
Yeah.
So nothing's predictable in the job. And that's honestly why I think I like it so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously I want to tie this into like your fitness journey. And so 2019, where are you at with your fitness at that point? Like, how would you describe how in shape or out of shape you were prior to getting into law enforcement? And then what did it look like for the first 3 years, let's say?
So getting into it, I felt like I was in really good shape. I mean, that was when just getting out of like peak coaching CrossFit all the time. Like when I was working at the car dealership, getting ready to transfer over to law enforcement, I'd wake up, go work out before work, go to work, and then work out after work. So I felt like I was in pretty good shape. Yeah. But then definitely going into this job, the demands of it are a lot harder. So working out, not necessarily that doesn't come a priority, but it changes a lot. I wasn't spending 3 to 4 hours a day in the gym 4 or 5 days a week. It was, I'm lucky if I get an hour, really lucky if I get 2 hours.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, like if I'm working on a day shift where it's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to go work out, which isn't easy, but then doing that multiple days in a row, it can definitely weigh down on you. So the first couple of years, I tried to stay up on it really well because that's when I was going through the academy, which is different. So starting in the jail, it was, you figure out a schedule that works for you based off whatever shift you're on. At the time I was on night shift, so I'd work out, wake up at 2 p.m., work out before work, go to work. Then during the academy, you're working out during that as part of your training. So that's kind of something you get used to. And then going to patrol, you just got to figure it out when you can fit it in, which is, I always try to do before work because I never know if something's going to happen and I stay late and then I miss it. So that's the hard part. Yeah.
And then, so like as things got less consistent, how did you see or feel your body change in those first couple of years?
I mean, definitely started to see the six pack fade away a little bit. Okay. But more so is energy level, noticing like worse sleep, eating, all that stuff. It got a lot more significant as time went on and you can see the day-to-day change, but it's more like what I felt internally. And that's the hard part is like, I don't look as bad as I feel, but inside I definitely felt like it was different.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that impact your like mental state? Like, just, yeah.
I don't know if you're the same, but if I'm not working out or if I don't get a workout in, sometimes I can become crankier.
Yeah.
And that would definitely be a big influence. Like, definitely not going to feel the same today if I don't get a workout in. Yeah. And so trying to prioritize it on the days off was huge, but also at the time started dating my wife, make sure there's time for that. So it definitely took a backseat for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think, do you have like a clear point or a memory of like, man, this has gotten to a point where I'm not happy with it. I need to make a shift and need to make a change. Was it like pretty abrupt or was it gradual where cause like today, if I ask you today, like you're in a very different spot than what you're describing, at least from what you've shared with me. So like, when did you make that shift to like, hey, I got to figure out a more sustainable system for this?
So right before, or when me and my wife, when we were engaged leading up to the wedding, I hired a coach and did training with him. And it was good. It gave me consistency, gave me something I do a lot better when I have someone guiding me.
Okay.
So it gave me, all right, this is what you eat. This is how we're going to cut. This is how we're going to build back up. So I noticed a big difference then.
Okay.
After we got married, enjoying life, finding out, having a kid.
Yeah.
Stopped working with the coach.
Yeah.
And I'm always the kind of person that I need some kind of goal to work for.
Okay.
So if I didn't have a goal, I'd still work out. But what was driving that it's because of what I'm used to. Not that I had something I was trying to aim for.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the big driving factor, especially since I've started being around you more too, is learning everything that you have to offer, but also I need a goal. And that's kind of what has kickstarted this whole past, 4 months now?
Yeah. Is
finding a goal, which is just 1 year. 1 year all in, dedicated. How's it going to look?
Okay.
So.
Yeah. What, well, let's pick up from 4 months ago. Like, what were you thinking? Like, you wanted to have a goal for yourself. You wanted to set some container for, bringing a new level of focus and consistency to your fitness, your health and fitness, your body composition. Like, where were you at prior to 4 months? Like, where was your body at? What was your weight? How were you feeling about your fitness at that point? This is before, I guess this was like, you're now 6 months into being a dad. So what are those first 6 months of, having Hayden do to you?
Man, sleep was challenging. Right. I thought sleep was challenging beforehand.
Yeah.
Sleep was definitely rough, but also, he didn't sleep well at first. So that made things a little more challenging too. So him not sleeping well, us not sleeping well, not really focusing on diet because I was just trying to get food in.
Yeah.
So I definitely looked a lot different. I think I was 215, 220-ish.
Okay.
And still, in the grand scheme of things, not like I looked horrible, but just not how I want to look. Mm-hmm. And that is what kickstarted everything is, all right, what if I just put 1 year, focus on diet, track everything that's going in, focus on a routine, and stick with that? How would that look? And it's more so, I think, for the discipline aspect of it is, can I stick to this and push myself to do that? And that's the challenge that I needed. So
yeah. And it's like staring down that goal or that timeline of a year and thinking, okay, I want to put a structure in place, see what I can do in this period of time by being more consistent on nutrition, training, accountability, etc. But you're also looking at it with a very different lens than 8 years ago, where it's like, okay, these are my constraints now.
Yeah.
Like working those, 12-hour shifts, 3 nights a week, sometimes 4. Also having to basically care for an infant or not even a toddler yet, he's 1, not even 1 yet.
Yeah.
Still making time for your relationship.
Is that when they become a toddler? Is that 1?
I think when they're actually walking and toddling.
Okay, so we're almost there. All right. Yeah. Okay. Toddling.
I think that's where it comes from, just
okay. All right, yeah. I think I'm still toddling then, but yeah.
You're a toddler with a credit card.
It's not good.
Not good.
But Yeah, it's
So you probably didn't think, okay, like, because this was like we had a consultation more or less, like, what does it look like? How would I do this thing? And you're not thinking, well, okay, I'm going to do double days in the gym and I'm going to do this and that. Like, you don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
So like, what give us the realistic view of like, what did this have to fit into? And then where would most people like not see opportunities to fit stuff in that they, could do even in a tight schedule, even working nights where you're not, that disrupts sleep on your off days and all the things.
Yeah. So, I mean, it looked like, I don't have all the time in the world and I want to be present with my family. I want to spend time with both my wife, my kid, us together. So how do I fit all this in 45 minutes to an hour?
Okay.
And it's not easy. One thing that you had told me to focus on, which I've been trying to do, is getting the steps in per day, and not just exercise steps, but steps in general.
Yeah.
So, in order to do that, I just pick my son up and walk around with him. I've found out if I take him from our house down to the end of the street, by the time I get back to that front door, if I stop at this one particular tree that my kid's obsessed with, it's going to be 700 steps. So
7,000.
No, 700.
Oh, 700. Okay.
Yep, there and back, 700. Don't know why. I've counted it so many times in my head. I know if I stop there, it's going to be 700.
Yeah.
But like doing stuff like that, it gets me 700 steps closer to what I want to do.
Yeah.
When he naps, that's my workout time.
Okay.
And trying to fit everything in, a lot of supersets, moving through stuff at a faster pace, not necessarily getting the rest that I would normally want to get in, but I have a time constraint.
Yep.
When he goes to bed, maybe go do another 700 steps by myself, but it's just to get closer to that number.
Yep.
Or if I'm working nights, I wake up, let's say around 1 to 2. Then depending upon when Hayden's next nap is, maybe I take him for a run and we get some cardio in together because we have one of those little bob strollers to run with. And when we get back, play around, put him down for a nap, 45-minute workout before I get some food, and then I got to go to work later. So it's challenging. There's not a lot of downtime, and I feel like I'm always constantly moving, but it's how I'm going to reach the goal that I want to do.
Yeah.
And then tracking everything that goes in for food, weighing everything. It's not easy. It's time consuming, weighing every single meal you're going to have. But then I know, and it's all about what is the end goal, not what is easiest.
Yeah.
So
leveraging steps, being really mindful and aware of how many you're getting. What was your, like, for the past 4 months, like what's an average day of steps look like for you?
Depending on if I'm running or not, between 9,000 to 12,000. If it's a run day, it's going to be
a little higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher, 12,000, 13,000.
Yeah.
But on average, I try to at least hit 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 10,000 steps, probably by, like, if you like look at the average over a week, probably somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then efficient workouts, not aiming for perfection. This is not peak strength. This is not peak like anything. It's just get this done, leveraging things like supersets, timed rests, like what's the minimum rest I can do to still get an effective set in.
Yep.
And then mostly leveraging strength training, right? Resistance training, bodybuilding type stuff, mostly.
Yeah, that's...
You doing any 3 rep maxes, 1 rep maxes?
Very rarely. Anything's for the most part is going to be anywhere between 4 to 12 or 15 reps, just depending upon what the lift is. If it's a compound movement, it's going to be lower.
Yeah.
Hypertrophy is going to be a little bit higher. But it's all based off of, because I'm trying to get it all done in that nap and still get a shower in.
Yeah.
So I know it's got to be 45 minutes, and how much can I fit in that time frame is all I'm focused on.
Yeah.
So,
and so, like, in a given week, like, how many of those lifts are you getting in? 4, 5, 3?
About, yeah.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe average 4.
Yeah.
So 4 efficient 45-minute workouts, 10,000 steps a day, and then food tracking. Had you ever done, I guess with the coach, you had like nutrition coaching and maybe a meal plan that you followed? Did you track macros back then, or did you just follow the plan?
No, I tracked macros, and the whole goal was, doing a cut and adding back on lean muscle mass. And it worked, but it wasn't as in-depth as what we've been doing.
Okay.
Whereas I'm tracking also the steps, sleep, all the other stuff. Plus, I had all the time in the world then. We didn't have a kid.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit easier.
Sure.
So calorie tracking hasn't been too crazy to me, but also at the time, it was like, if I get a coffee, I'm not worried about how much cream I put in there if I want to, or flavors. That's not going to count. Now I'm paying attention to that still counts.
Yeah.
And those little things were adding up. Same thing, like, if I'm feeding Hayden, he drops something or doesn't want to eat something, how easy is it to snack on that? That's counted calories that before I probably wouldn't have
thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So it sounds like the differences are, I've had some exposure to macro or calorie tracking or food tracking. Now it's just this new level of awareness, or like an elevated level of awareness where it's like, oh, all these things add up.
Yeah.
And really, like, I don't have to follow like a rigid structure. I just need to be focused on these targets that I'm hitting every day and make sure it fits into that. And I imagine that, well, I'll ask this question shortly, but we won't get into it just yet. But it's great because, like, we talked about this enough over the past, like, when did we do our first workout? Like, it was like summer of 24, right?
Yeah, it was sometime last year. Around that. Yeah.
So it's been almost like probably a year and a half, or maybe right around there, of like knowing each other. And it's like I've obviously like beat the drum on like, hey, you got to resistance train, you got to get your steps, you got to count and track your steps, we got to talk about like your macros and really just track that stuff and just be measurable about it. And but those are like the big pillars that we always talk about. And it sounds like now what I find fascinating is you took a system that can work in a lot of different circumstances, but you're in this time constrained period of life where you're not only like working a job that has a different set of demand. I mean, everyone's jobs have their own demands.
For sure.
This adds a level of, lifestyle disruption that most people are not familiar with, like working nights and having to sleep during the day. And it's like, how do you feel yourself? How do you get good sleep, or at least adequate sleep? And all of that, you've been able to take the system and find ways to really identify, like, what's the lever to pull? Okay, steps, that's my lever, and I got to get this much, and I am clearly focused on that. Food, like, high level of accountability around everything that goes in. If I track that and I get clear on what my numbers need to be, I'll have success. Is it easy all the time? No.
Well, and that's the aspect too, is because with this job, like, if you don't prepare, like, I don't know how many times I'll have coworkers end up at 7-Eleven buying, I want to say protein bars, but it's like the taquitos they serve there, or it's like, because you got to eat.
Yeah.
And if you don't prepare, like, the whole slogan of if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yep.
It's that same mindset that I look at it as like, how easy is it to not prep this food, and then I end up at In-N-Out and get some food there, or Chipotle, or all these different places I could go to.
Yeah.
But what's that going to look like over time? It's just going to be a bad habit that I get into. And if I
Right.
do that, it's just going to build on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, and the opportunities or the potential for failure is very high in your lifestyle right now, right? With the young kid, like, and that's the case for a lot of our like listeners. It's like they got young families, they work demanding jobs, like they're pouring their energy out in all these places, and the opportunity to fail or to find yourself in a situation where if you're not prepared, you're just going to reach for the wrong things to eat, or you're only going to have access to the things that aren't really suitable to your goals.
Yeah.
It's like the thing that, so many people, even in less constrained lifestyles than you, will tell me, it's like, man, just like planning and preparing is just so hard. And I'm like, I get it. Like, no one ever said it was easy.
Yeah.
Like, the easy route is to just not plan and prepare and go to 7-Eleven and Chipotle and whatever and just, eat like a toddler with a credit card. Like, it's like, what would Hayden order if he was at 7-Eleven right now? It's like, I can buy that, right? So yeah, planning and preparing is essential to have success, whether you have, no kids and, a cush job, or you have all this free time, like whatever, or here, it's just that when you have more on your plate, it just makes the stakes a lot higher.
Yeah.
And I think it also is probably really intimidating to think, oh, I got to plan when you don't even know what to plan for, right? Someone's like, I gotta plan some healthy meals. It's like, well, what does that even mean? Well, in your case, it's like meals that hit 200 grams of protein, this many grams of carbs, and this many grams of fat per day. And what else does planning look like? It looks like finding enough windows in the day to go get and accumulate your 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
700 steps from there back. I know if I get 4 of those today, I'm at 2,800 steps. Where am I going to get the other steps? Like, you have to start creating strategies around how to get the things that are necessary.
And it's not easy. But for me, there's a certain level of ease, I guess, in my mind, knowing that I have the control over these factors.
Dude, that's it. I'm not like I was trying to bait you into saying that, but that's it. Like, that's what I say. I'm like, yeah, it's impossible to like be disciplined and plan correctly if you don't even know what you're planning for. If you don't know what the targets that you're aiming for actually look like. Yeah. That's what probably took us 6 months to get to the point where it was like, okay, man, like, you really ready to start this? Like, you've heard me talk about this enough. You've been around the environment here at the gym. Like, you know what we're doing. Like, these are your targets. Now go out and do it. Like, it will work, and it's not going to be easy, but you got to choose your heart. Like, heart is sticking to a plan, creating awareness around these things, finding opportunities, or your heart is 3 years go by and you've been not planning and you feel dead inside. You feel low energy. You feel horrible. Your body doesn't look the way you want it to look. And then you still got all the demands of life on your plate. Yeah. Plus you're not feeling energetic. Plus you're feeling, not confident in your body. You're not feeling the way you want to feel. Yeah. And that's a more painful place to arrive at. Especially, like, I don't know if you've ever experienced it, and I think we've talked about it before, but having body dysmorphia and just looking at yourself and not really feeling happy with how you look, that's a huge driving factor behind wanting the control too. Is I'm controlling where this ship is going, and the ship is how I want to look and how I want to feel. And being able to focus on that is huge for me right now, because it's giving me some sense of I feel better about myself, and that makes me feel better at home too. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I know that message resonates with a lot of people, men and women, but I know very, very specifically for men, especially as, who've had a connection to their body in the past, who are in busy career fatherhood mode, like, that's that pillar of, like, I have some control over my body and what it's doing and how it's going to look and how it's going to show up and feel when I'm on with the kid and when I'm, at work. That's something that a lot of men that haven't found a solution for, and it can eat you up inside. Like, every day you're like, ugh, like, this is not me. Like, what I'm showing up as a dad, like, I'm doing the things, I'm like doing the whatever, but I look in the mirror and I'm just like, oh, who are you? Yeah. And I've been so focused on that and not wanting that to happen that it's made this whole process a little bit easier, because I know that that's not the route I want to go. Yeah. And focusing on that has definitely helped out. Like, if I don't do this, where am I going to end up? And not knowing that is scary. Yeah. So that is definitely a huge help too. Yeah. And so talk about what those 4 months look like since you started this, like, where you started at close to 220. How low did you get in your body recomp? Lowest I saw on the scale was 194. So started with, I think we said it like macros were like 200 grams protein, 200 grams carbs, and like 60 grams of fat or something like that. Okay. And then just sticking with that for, I think it was 3 months. Yeah. Got me to drop all that, and I slowly increased the steps. I started running a little bit more too, and I think that also helped. But sure. Once I got down to, I think we set our goal at like 195. Yeah. And then from there, and this is always the part that's gotten me, is slowly adding the weight back on. That's always tripped me up in the past, because all of a sudden adding weight back on means just eating more and stop focusing on, or in the past I've stopped focused on keeping track. And that's where the big fault of mine has been. Yeah. Because I just get in the mindset of, oh, you're just going to eat more. You're going to put weight back on. Yeah. And I think everyone kind of falls for that too. Yeah. So definitely being focused with adding on slowly and focusing on slowly. Like, if I have, if we're going out to dinner one night, got to be smart with how I plan the rest of the day, because I'm going to treat myself to dinner that night. Yeah. And it's been a challenge, but it's been nice. So it's slowly back up. I think right now I'm at 200 grams of protein, 320 grams of carbs, and like 80 grams of fat. Yeah. But it's taken like 2 months to get back to that. Yeah. So you got to that low point of 194. We kind of had a check-in, and you were sort of telling me like, hey, I think I'm
tired.
I'm tired. Right?
Tired.
Yeah. So like the fatigue of a long calorie deficit / body recomposition, fat loss phase, most people arrive there. I'm sure probably the first 2 months didn't feel like that. They probably felt like, oh, this is great. It's, I got to manage my hunger a little bit, but like at some point people arrive at that. And then the fault, it's not a fault, but it's like, there's no real understanding what to do after. It's like, okay, I got here at 2,000 calories a day. Mm-hmm. Is this what I have to eat forever in order to like keep the body that I have? Like there's not enough education around like, well, what does it look like to come out of that and not to just go back to your old habits?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you've done in the past. It's what most people have done in the past. That's what yo-yo dieting is you work really aggressively to reach a goal, you achieve the goal, and you're like, cool, now I can just go back to being a toddler with a credit card and everything's going to be good. It's like, well, no, like the habits that got you to where you were dissatisfied in the first place, if you re-implement them, even if you're lower body fat or leaner, like you'll eventually regress back to where you were before. And so this time I said to you, okay, well, yes, I understand that fear, and you don't have to do it the same way. It just means that you have to have the same level of awareness and really accountability to the numbers on the way back up. Mm-hmm. And so we set a strategy for, okay, we're going to add back about 5 to 10% of your energy in the first 2 weeks. So you're going to get back 200-300 calories right away, which I'm sure probably, how did that, was that like?
It was amazing.
Amazing.
Dude, I felt that first like week and a half of adding the calories back in, I was like, oh, I feel so much better. I'm a happier person.
Yeah. Right?
100%.
Yeah. And the alternative approach is people just like binge after that and they just go, and then they feel horrible. Yeah. They gain back like 12 pounds of water weight overnight. They're just like, I feel gross. And they just feel like I ruined everything I just worked hard for.
Oh, and I had a night like that. When I was telling you, we went to that steakhouse. Yeah. That next morning I woke up, I felt like I had ruined everything. Yeah. And I know more salt, all that stuff, it's going to throw things off, but definitely happened. Yeah. And I can see why it's been so easy in the past for that to happen so many times before. Yeah. Because you just get that one meal and it's like, okay, let's just start eating again because I'm hungry. Sure. So it's hard to not fall into that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the mindset that I try and get clients to adopt is like, okay, you've got this goal, right? Let's say it's going to take 4 months. Mm-hmm. I want you planning for an 8-month process. This is an 8-month journey you're on. Yeah. It is 4 months of getting to your goal. It's 2 months of rebuilding to a baseline that feels more sustainable. And then it's locking in on that where you build a routine and a habit around that new baseline where you're eating more. You've held on to probably 95% of your body recomposition progress that you had. Yeah, like you start eating a little bit more, like you raise your calories up, like you'll add back a little bit of body fat, but you'll add back some muscle too. But you won't be back at where you started. And now it's like, okay, well, I can totally manage 3,000 calories a day at this new body composition. Yeah. And you get to sort of anchor that in for 2-3 months. And then it starts to feel like, oh, this is my new,
new normal.
New normal. Right. Yeah. And then you get to make choices about how you want to go proceed. Like some people are like, I want to lean bulk for a little bit. I want to then do another cut. Like you can play that game, but now you at least know the system, you know the inputs, you know the levers to pull. Like, you know, if I were to ask you like, okay, you're not like the expert in this yet, but you're more knowledgeable than 99% of people on the planet about this now that you've gone through it for 6-7 months. Yeah. Like, Justin, drop a plan. How would you get to this, next? And I'm sure you'd be able to be like, well, I got to bring this down. Maybe I'll ramp this up. I'll do this. Yeah. Right? Do you feel like, is that true for you?
It is. I definitely think that it comes with a level of discipline that you have to have. But no, it's totally like, let's say I wanted to drop back down again in weight, I know that if I slowly just start decreasing, stick my protein the same, but start decreasing just a little bit carbs and fat just a little bit less at a time, increase my steps a little bit more, but still stick to the same workout and walking plan, all that stuff, that it will start to drop. Yeah. Just don't feel like I have to starve myself completely, still get a good number, but just slowly start ticking away at that, and you'll see the scale start dropping down. Yeah. So I definitely think that after going through this, I can figure it out. Mm-hmm. still ask for help, but I'd be able to figure out my way through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, and it's not even about like, you don't have to know the perfect strategy. You don't have to know exactly what to do. Like, there's information out there to go get. There's people to ask. But I think the most important thing is, you know, from a mindset perspective and a belief, like, oh, I've seen it done. I know how I got to where I got. I know how I was able to kind of reverse my way out of that deficit or that process that I was in. Okay, this is a system that works. It will always take discipline. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, it takes discipline to choose.
You have to be committed
to the good
to it.
meal over pizza. Like,
yes,
like
for sure.
People are like, I'm not really into like pizza. I'm like, you're into something. I promise you. Like, your taste buds and your physiology are into something more entertaining than a plate of vegetables and lean meat and right. Like
100%.
So discipline will always be there, but a lot of people I think get stuck in, I don't know the system. I don't even believe it's possible. I've never experienced it. It's like when you come into the gym, like you've squatted 400 pounds before.
Yeah.
Close to,
Yeah.
more, whatever.
405 is the max I've ever hit.
Okay. So like you've squatted 405. So you come into the gym and you're just like, I know what's possible. You're not going to squat 405 today probably, but you will go and get under heavy weight and you will push with the belief in your body and your capability and what you've done in the past. Like, I know this is a thing I can chase or build strength towards. Or somebody who's never squatted 405 comes in, you're like, yeah, you could squat 405 one day. They're like, I'm not putting that bar on my back. Like, I don't even trust that this whole thing makes any sense, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you've walked the path. You've built your one of the first strong bodies of evidence that's like, oh, this thing can work if you do it this way and fit it inside of a hectic, crazy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Dude, if you like put that in your back pocket as like, anytime you're like having self-doubt, be like, I did the thing and I know it can be done and I can play that card again because I didn't do it in some crazy restrictive, like I suddenly started working out twice a day and started running 4 days a week. And I started, you know, I cut out every carb imaginable and I never ate a single thing that tasted good. And right, like that's how most people achieve their first transformation is by doing something crazy hard and drastic. And then it falls apart. And then they're like,
where do I go from
where
here?
I don't know how to do this. I never want to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think for me too, the biggest thing is just the level of commitment that has to go into it. You have to understand, like, this isn't I can do it 25% of the time. Like, if you want to get your goal, you have to be committed to it.
Yeah.
And you have to stick with that.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, but it's worth it every single time. And
Totally.
it's, you know, this has definitely been a challenge, but it's been 100% worth it because now I feel better about myself at home, and just my internally feel significantly better than I did 5-6 months ago.
Sick, man. That's so cool. Yeah. I had I have just one closing thought, which is that, you know, a client of mine, who I worked with last year or this year, but I feel like it's already next year. It's not, which was only October.
It's close enough.
It's close
enough. This last year has gone by in a blur.
Yeah. But, you know, he went through, we did more of like an accelerated, like 4-month thing with him and a similar time frame, but like that was it, you know, and he went through a really dramatic, you know, transformation. And, you know, he was getting asked questions by a lot of his people, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and his response was similar to what you just said. It was like, I'm not doing anything like magical. I'm just doing weight training, steps, and tracking my food. And he's like, it's not magic, but you can't just pick and choose what you want. Like you gotta do the system and you gotta do it. Like if you do it 100% of the way, you're going to see incredible transformative, you know, results. If you do it 90% of the way, you'll see really good results. If you do it 80% of the way, you might not really make enough progress to really find the momentum and want to stick with it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not like some secret crazy thing, but it's also not something that you can just do part way. And I think that echoes a lot of what you just shared too. And also the part where it's like, and it's hard. It's not easy. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it.
There's a couple quotes I've seen in a book recently, and it's choose the hard right, not the easy wrong. And that has kind of described this whole transformation.
Choose the hard right, not the easy wrong. I like that.
And it's just kind of been how this whole thing has worked out. It's challenging. Like, I've had my wife's family members ask me, like, does he have an eating disorder now? And it's like, I get it. It's a big transformation, but it's just something that if you're focused on and you have the goal of doing, you'll make it happen one way or another.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
Yeah. I also think like discipline now, like gives you freedom in the future. And maybe the freedom for you is not like, oh, I don't ever have to track my food again, or I never have to do this again. But it's more of like, I discipline hard in this period of time. Now I've earned myself some flexibility, getting to eat out for, dinners once a week, twice a week, knowing how to use the knowledge that you have to strategize your day so that you can fit that in, not having to be so disciplined. And, it's been 2 months of you building yourself back to a baseline, and what you've put on 3-4 pounds, like tops. And some of that is probably lean tissue and some of that's fat, but like, relative to being 25 pounds ago when you were heavier to now, it's like, that's a drop in the bucket. Like that's nothing. That's just you getting a huge amount of flexibility now relative to what discipline looked like for 4 months.
True.
So, I mean, I like to tell people that are like, hey, if you're interested in engaging in a process like this, like, that's our platinum coaching program. That's what we offer. And it's like, it's 6 to 12 months to go through a transformation, learn what it looks like on the other side of it in the right way, and then build in this like flexibility into your life that really gives you like a chance to live like well, but not sacrifice your health, your body composition, your energy levels, etc.
And feel good while you do it. Yeah. Feel good about yourself internally and just enjoy yourself a lot more.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, well, thank you for being here. Anything you want to say? Any last parting words to the listeners?
No, thanks for having me on here. It's been first time on a podcast, so it was cool.
Yeah. Everyone, how did he do? How did Justin do?
Not well.
He crushed it.
No.
Dude, it was great.
You see me? I'm over here sweating, dude.
I know. Well, I'm
sweat. Warm.
You were drinking coffee too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you're over here cool as a cucumber.
I'm not always cool as a cucumber. Nate's had to go and grab me towels many a time.
Honestly, halfway through that, I was thinking like, Nate, I need you to grab me a paper towel.
I see this one bead of sweat really just coming down.
It's on the side that the camera can't see though, so that's how I know it's okay.
It's okay. It's back there. It's hidden. Right? Yeah. It's hidden. But we'll out you to all the podcast listeners. This dude is sweating. Anyway, man. It's been such a pleasure to just have you as part of this community. And I got to say, the last 6 months have been hard because you have not been around as much.
I know. Yeah.
I missed you. But I know that, hey, this is the season of life and seasons change and you'll be back. And that's a new tattoo.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that thing, I'm like been staring at it this whole time. And I'm like, that's too glossy to.
It's like 2 weeks ago.
That's. All right. Give us a quick story on the leg tattoo. Shin.
Oh, yeah, just. Wolf tattoo right there?
Just straight up a wolf. That is not a small deal.
No. It'll be the whole leg eventually.
Jeez.
Me and my wife have this whole agreement about how I get tattoos. She'll get what she wants. We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, true story. I have recently been entertaining the idea of getting a tattoo.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
I want to know other people's ideas and thoughts on this. We got Nate, we got Justin in here tatted up. Satya's tatted up. Everyone's got tattoos around me.
Dude, you got to get one. It's so nice. It's such a good addiction.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, once it happens, you're done. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
That might deter you from it, but it's definitely, I mean, if you can't tell, I've been into it.
Yeah, you've been into it. Got the sleeves, got the
first one at 18, and 12 years later, I'm still going. So
there we go.
You should definitely get some.
30 years old, man. You got your life ahead of you. I love it. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, dude.
See you all next time. And if you're a dad, if you're struggling to find that confidence in yourself, in feeling some control over your body and how you show up energetically, physically. Moms out there as well, parents. Justin's a great story of somebody who took back some control, even with all the health and fitness knowledge that he had from years of coaching. And, different seasons of life require different levels of accountability and support. And we're here for you. So reach out. And if you want to be part of the FBB Dads Club, like Justin is,
Oh, hell yeah.
hit us up.
Hell yeah.
All right. Peace.